Yo, I am back with another video, and today I'm going to be going over the ultimate free-to-play beginner's guide. Now, I am a player that's, I feel like I'm pretty decent in the game. I've got about 20k cubes saved up. I've got through a lot of, the stuff. I'm on floor 68 of tower and climbing. The only reason why I'm at that floor is because I haven't attempted it yet, but I'll talk about this later, but pretty much everything else has been maxed out to the best of its abilities. I've almost done all the Reminiscence stories, but as a free-to-play player, I believe, I should try to help you guys out. This is the point of me making this channel, even when I was terrible back in the day. Like, I've done it for like 7-8 months at this point, but essentially what I'm going to be going over is the tips that you guys as free-to-plays yourselves or even low spenders should be following. I will have in the beginning of this video a segment where I do go over joining the game, because it's still a beginner's guide, so beginner's guide first, then I'll go over free-to-play tips. But if you guys do enjoy this video, please sub up. I make content like this, documenting my free-to-play struggles, summons, showcases, all that stuff. But let's just hop into this video. Alright, so guys, I'm going to be referring to this new account. That's probably going to be my alt account now, since I don't reroll. And for this part, you should have made it through this point. If you are a free-to-play player that's looking for this video, but you've already made it through the tutorial and you're kind of, you played the game for at least like a week or something like that, then this isn't really relevant to you. But if you're using my video and you're just starting out the game, that's why I'm going to be starting at this point. I'm only going to spend like 2 minutes on this, and then I'm going to go back to my account. And okay, so you should be at this point if you just download the game. After you get through the tutorial, you should really pay attention to the tutorial, but I know that tutorials are very annoying in gacha games, which is why I'm here to help y'all. So you should have, got through this. The tutorial ends here, all that good stuff, but you should be able to, claim your items and whatnot. I'll probably cut to that. All right, so we've got the starters login. This is a perfect time to join the game if you are a new player. If you're thinking about it and watching this video, then you should. Now, as a new player, I suggest going for probably like Green Miwa, because she is the newest character on here. That's the only reason why I would have said to go for her. But we're going to be getting to the other stuff. I'll be explaining all this other stuff on my account because that's just way easier, but I just want to show the login process and the things you should do the second you log into the game. So if, again, you are a seasoned player at this point and you're free to play, but you still don't understand everything, then I would probably skip past this specific point. But this new Culling Games UG, you all should have in your box right now. You all should have got, like, when you join the game, you all get these cubes and stuff. Since it's not an anniversary, you're not going to be getting the crazy amount of cubes that you get. Okay, yeah, we got about 12k, which is what the game gives you. Now, I'm not going to be summoning because y'all probably don't want to see that, but I'm going to be showing you guys the redrawable, if I can freaking find it. Where is it? Hold up. There's a lot of stuff. Okay, step up gachas, all this stuff. You're free to play, so this doesn't really matter to you. But this redrawable right here, it has a couple characters. It's kind of bad at this point, but you can summon and summon and summon again until you basically get whoever you want. So you just have to keep on going, and you can stop whenever you want. But I just want to show you the first like redraw, because you have to get Blue Gojo out of this, because every other unit on here is kind of useless. Okay, so you just hit redraw and it'll redraw for you, and they will get rid of the unit you just got, and then you'll get a new unit. This guy's also a good option, so you can also go for him, but the new Culling Games UG outshines him, so you're probably not going to want this guy. But you just have to keep on redrawing until you get the Blue Gojo. Now, this account's going to be chopped because I do want to stop summoning right now, because I do want to show y'all more things. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to end off with this green Nanami right here. But now that I've shown that, I think there's one more thing I want to cover before I'm able to switch off from this account for the people who are like, seasoned players. You know what I'm saying? Seasoned players. Now, the last thing I want to say is you can, if you're new, you might want to summon on these guys. I don't know, joining the game at this time is very weird. I would say if you're new and you just joined the game, save. Use the tickets. Use this right here. Use this. Use your tickets, all the free tickets, and summon, and hopefully you'll get something to help your box out. But that's going to be it for this segment of the video. Now, I am assuming that you guys have made it through most of the beginnings of the game. You understand the game. You even summoned on a couple banners and got shafted, or you got extremely lucky. I'm assuming that is the spot that you're in. You have a couple of units under your belt and you don't really know what to do with them. So I'm going to be helping you guys out. I'm first going to be starting off with how do you know just train up your characters, because I have been asked this question. This is going to be really quick because most players do know how to do this. You know, you just level the character up. You have to grade them up. But the thing I'm going to be focusing on is saving your resources. It's very important. Cubes will be the most important thing, but I want to talk about just saving in general. As a free-to-play, you have less access to a lot of things, not because, you know, other whales can buy this stuff, but whales usually have a lot more time on their hands. That's why they're a whale. You know, this is their game, and they can probably get the resources a lot better. They can clear stuff that gives them even more resources. But as you need to keep your stuff up. Like, okay, for instance, leveling up your characters. To get your character to level 140, yes, level 140, you need approximately 22 million of this orange thing. As you can see, I can level up roughly one and another maybe character. Soon I'll be able to level up 2 characters comfortably if I get lucky on someone. But that is how much you need, so you have to keep that in mind. I like to stay above 15 million with this because you never know, you might get lucky on a banner and you just have to level up these characters. So that's the first thing. Second thing is to max out your events. What I mean by that is, let's go to events real quick. I learned this pretty at a later time than regular, but the pro players, the players that are the best in the game, they max these events out, right? They hit level current number 10 on this, and they like use it to the best of their abilities. Like me, I got to 9. It was pretty hard, but I got to 9. And events, they're gonna give you most of the resource that you need. Honestly, you don't have to be spamming this because events are going to be the thing that gives you resources. And as long as you're not leveling up characters non-stop, then you should have a bunch of this. I like to have 400 of everything of this purple and green, at least 400, to be in a comfortable spot where you can level up a character if you need a character for tower or something like that. You have to be able to, you know, react and respond to that and get that done. Another thing that you have to take into consideration is who you're leveling up. If you have a character, but they're not that good, but you want to level them up, do not do that. Level up characters in priority of how good they are first, and then how you like them second. Like, for instance, this character right here, she's going to be the last character that I ever leveled up to level 140 because she is terrible. She's just terrible. But when you want to show off your box, which is things that you probably want to do, you want to have these characters level 140, but you have to pick and choose when you do that. Like in a dry period like now, it's the best time to start actually leveling up your characters, enhancing your rec bits so that your box does look better. But you have to stay over that margin of about 15 million so that you are able to, like when you get lucky on a banner, you're able to actually level up the important characters, because sometimes you might hit a tower floor where you need someone like this Junpei. I didn't have this Junpei leveled up. I had to level him up like crazy and all this stuff and spend a lot of resources because I wasn't prepared when I hit a floor that I needed him for. So that is the type of things that you have to like keep in your head when you're going in this game. You don't have the luxury of wasting your resources. Essentially, you have to keep your stuff saved up. Keep your stuff saved up. Max out these events. These events are the things that get you cubes. Max these out, okay? I know they're boring. This thing right here, I've done a lot of it. Like, I've done basically all the things, as you can see. I've done a lot of it because it gives a lot of rewards, and rewards are everything in this game. Okay, I've just went on a big spiel about just saving and all this stuff. Number 2, just play the game. It's really hard to play the game. It's very difficult. Now, main story, I'm not done with it because I'm taking my time to actually go through and watch each one because the story is fun. But a thing with main story and cursed object collection is these are cubes that you're gonna have access to forever. And a lot of things I see happen to players, like in Dokkan, for instance, is players will max out their stories and events too quickly, and then they're just not going to have any cubes and resources for later in the game. So you do want to like hold on to some stuff. Like, the reason why I haven't done this is, well, one, I'm lazy, and two, I can come back whenever I want and do this if I'm in a pinch and really need cubes. That's what this for you. If you really need cubes, you just come in there and get it done. Number two, do your domain investigations. On Fridays and Saturdays, you have 3 chances to do this. Now, you don't waste this over the week. Only do it on Saturdays and Sundays, and not Saturdays, Sundays, Fridays and Saturdays, and maybe Sunday, because that is when you have 2 times drops. 2 times drops is everything in this game. For those who don't know, 2 times drops is where basically all the resources in the game, except for like cubes, is 2 times the amount. So you want to level up a character, you want to do it on this day, because you're going to get, instead of 3 of whatever this is or 2 of whatever this is, you're going to get 4. So it's huge. The same thing applies for this. When you get to this, you want to max this out as well. So instead of getting the 20k per AP, you're going to be getting 40k. You're getting double the amount that you would regularly get. So on those days, you want to use all your AP, not all of it, but like most of it, trying to get resources that you'll be able to use to level up your characters down the road. Like, planning ahead, that's what you want to be doing. You want to do your reminiscence story as well. But other than that, I'm going to be going into the thing you really want to be hearing about, and that is how you should be summoning, essentially. Before I get to summoning, I wanted to briefly touch on team building, because a lot of people ask me about like how to build teams. So we're going to grab an empty one right here. So with building teams, you want to have a very basic comp of buffer, specialist, sub DPS, DPS. That's usually how you want to build a team, because that's just the best way. Your DPS needs to be like last slot or even backup slot, because that means they're going to receive all the buffs. Don't run like multiple DPS together unless they're somehow buffing each other in some way. Like, running multiple main DPS that are very hungry, that don't give any buffs together, is not the way to do it. You have to have a buffer like Yaga. You have to have a buffer like Nanami in the front to buff. If you are playing sweep, the character that should be in the slot that I'm holding onto right now is Yuki, because he gives 19 curse energy every 2 turns, which is insane. So you want to have him in that second slot at all times in sweep, and then you can bring another buffer as your backup. That's basically generally how you want a team build. So we've got Gojo right here. He is the main DPS. He's not going to be helping the team at all in terms of buffing. He's straight damage. Sub DPS would be this Yaga right here. Let me get rid of this guy real quick. But sub DPS would be this Yaga, because this Yaga, it does a good chunk of damage, but another thing that he does is give really good buffs. You want to be looking for those characters for your 3rd slot. You could also run a DPS here, or you could run a really heavy buffer here, but you just want to look out for that. And then your 3rd needs to be somebody that just gives regular stat buffs. So in this case, Shoko, she gives stat buffs like Red Yaga for those who are new to the game. And you want her to be in your first slot, because she's going to be the one doing her action first every time, because orange is performed before every other action, and since she's her first slot, she's going to be performing it consistently every time. Like, she's going to be the first person to buff your team, which is the most important, because she's not going to be doing damage. Now in this spot, if you wanted to, if you're running like, if you're going against tower or something, then you want like a specialist. So the specialist would be like a Yuki and Inamaku, who gives ult gauge, or someone like a domain expansion character. Domain expansion characters can be your sub DPS. Yes, that's very true. Domain expansion characters are usually your sub DPS, but sometimes their buffs, like they don't do damage. Like this domain Megumi has aged out, so he doesn't do damage. So you want to run him as the specialist to give that insane amount of buffs to your team in his domain expansion. And then lastly, your third slot can be, it can be a DPS, it can be a buffer, it doesn't really matter as long as it works for your team. You have to tackle every floor with just pre-planning. This game is very strategic. You can't just walk into a floor and expect your team to just do it off of bulk alone. You have to read a character's thing. You have to tap right here and read the boss's kit, because the boss does have a kit. You can see the Curse Spirit can apply physical technique decrease and Curse technique decrease to the targets. And he has Curse technique increase, ultimate gauge, and all that, and applies Curse technique damage taken increase and stun, all this stuff. Now, this is a bad example. For some reason, he doesn't say like what type of damage he takes, but most bosses are immune to like physical technique or jujutsu technique. Jujutsu is, you know what jujutsu is, and physical is, you know what physical is. And some bosses are even immune to debuffs, like this Choso does. This Choso puts debuffs on the enemy, so it has to hit the enemy and it will give them damage taken and all that stuff. So that's what a debuff is. And then a buff is what this UG does. He gives damage increase buff to the team. So some bosses nerf buffs and some bosses nerf debuffs. You wouldn't know this if you didn't read, which is very important. So you have to factor all of that into building a solid team comp. Usually you want to have like a healing rec bit for the entire team. You want to have drop attack on Yuki so that he dies. You want to have all that stuff. I can't go into detail now because this is supposed to be a shorter, I don't know, video, but just to cover it, you know, you just want to have something like this that gives health to the entire team. Your DPS wants to have a DPS rec bit. You always got to make sure of that. Your sub DPS can have a healing rec bit or a DPS rec bit. It depends on your play style. Do you like to gamble or do you want to play it safe, essentially? And then your main should either have a healing rec bit or something that buffs the team. Anything that buffs the team or gives CE, which is cursed energy, like this gives cursed. Oh, this is the wrong one. Yo, my fault, guys. But one of them does give cursed energy. It gives cursed energy to her, and since she's a buffer that needs to be buffing constantly, it's very useful. And then rec bits. You have to make sure to read your rec bits, read your kits, and you will do well in this game. But now I'm going to be moving on to summoning finally. Finally, we are at the thing that will make or break a free-to-play's account. If you do this wrong, you will fail. Your account will be bad unless you're the luckiest person on planet Earth. That is just how it is. And these two banners are the perfect example of how you should be tackling it. So we're going to be going over Gojo's banner because he's a very hype unit. Number one, you have to assess how hype and how cool this unit is, which is kind of insane. But if this unit is going to make your box look insane, that is a factor. If you are trying to flex, or if you are a collector, or if you love the character, then you might as well just summon. But other than that, which is very basic, you have to cover, first of all, what color is this character? This character is green. You look at your box and you sort for green. Look at your green characters and see, does your team, your green team, because this is a mono game, does your team need this? One thing I didn't cover in team building is that this game runs off of teams, like color teams. So you're not using red color characters with yellow color characters. It's usually all yellow, all red, all blue, all green, unless you're using a specialist, which can run on basically any team, right? So with these guys, like check green, for instance, do I need Honor One Gojo? He is a Jujutsu unit. You have to, read his kit, read his details. And as you can see, let me check again, yeah. He is a Jujutsu unit. He does insane damage. Now, the second thing you want to do after looking through your box and deciding, does your box need it? In my case, I do need it, but we don't talk about that. I'm not summoning for him. The second thing you should look at is showcases. How are YouTubers talking about this character? In my case, I don't have him because I'm a free-to-play, but whales have this character. Whales will showcase this character. If he performs good, then you'll know. If there's no videos on the character, then you know that nobody's using him. That is another factor. If nobody's using him, if he's not meta, if he's not needed in content, you should not be summoning for this guy because he's not going to provide anything to your box and you just wasted cubes on this character. So you have to also think about that. You have to, like, mentally, make those checklists. Like, do I really need this character? And if the answer is no, then don't do it. It's not worth it. The summon button is looking really good right now. By the way, I really want to do a multi. But the next thing that you want to factor in is what's coming next. We have JP, so we have 3 months. We can look 3 months into the future. JP is the Japanese version of this game, for those who don't know, and JP gets stuff 2 to 3 months ahead of global. So if you watch my videos, for instance, my weekly videos, I cover what both versions are getting. And for green, for instance, we know that like no really green units coming out in the next couple of months, so that is another factor. But for other colors like yellow or something, we've got broken yellow characters coming in the future that you want to spend your cubes on. We have a limited Yuta coming that you probably want to spend your cubes on, that is probably more useful than this Gojo that I'm showing you right now. So you have to, factor these things into place and show you some videos like the ones I drop or the ones other content creators drop. You have to be very tapped into the community, because you can't go all willy-nilly in this game, because the game will punish you. And it's going to be bad. I've been punished before by this game for just bad decisions, So that is all the things that you want to factor. Please tell me how y'all's journeys are going and stuff like that. Ask any question, and I mean any question, in the comments, and I will help you out if the video didn't cover something that you needed to hear. But I am here for you guys. Please sub up, like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.